I also realized a long time ago that owning a nice car doesn't make you wealthy. Hi, welcome back to Shawnee Hill's Workshop. Now, if you watched episode 141, then you've seen the truck that I recently purchased. It's I said 2006 in that video, but I was incorrect. It's a 2005 F-250 crew cab. It's got the gasoline 5.4 Triton in it. And I'm buttoning up the last few things. I'm going to replace the fuel filter here. I've replaced the exhaust manifold, driver side, passenger side, cleaned the mass airflow sensor, replaced all the calipers. Right now it's running pretty decent, but my short-term fuel trim is just a little bit high, so I'm going to, well, one of these things I was going to do anyway. I'm going to replace the fuel filter, and then if that doesn't fix the problem, then it's probably just a vacuum leak that I got to trace down. Either way, it's drivable right now. But like I said, I was going to do this anyway. I've got a new serpentine belt. And there's a few other fluid changes I want to do that are just random maintenance things that need to be done. You know, oil change, transmission flush. I'm probably going to change the fluid in the front and rear differential. But I would be doing that on any vehicle I get. Unless I know specific maintenance history, I do all fluids, inspect all belts, everything like that. The video I'm doing today is not about changing the fuel filter. I just happen to be doing this. It's about 9 o'clock at night, just trying to get this knocked out. That's all I'm going to do tonight. But there's something that was kind of nagging on me I wanted to talk about. Now, I got several comments on different social media outlets. Facebook, Instagram. I got some private messages on Facebook and Instagram on when I showed the truck. I was hoping to take this time to kind of answer some of those. And I apologize if I'm all over the place, because the questions I asked are not simple questions, or maybe not even questions, but the comments that were made don't have simple replies. So first off, I need to start by, I am living two types of lifestyles right now. There's more than that, but there are two things that are governing a lot of these decisions. One is a debt-free lifestyle. Now, I mentioned in that video 141 that I purchased a 2004 Ford Excursion diesel, brand new, and it's the last new vehicle I own, and it's part of the reason why I live this lifestyle. I bought that vehicle in December of 2003. It was a 2004 model, and I had just turned 22 and was making decent money as a carpenter, working my way through engineering school, and I convinced myself that that vehicle would make sense for my family and I. For my wife and I at the time, we didn't have any kids. And I used to think about things in terms of how many doors did I have to put in? How many kitchens did I have to put in? What did I have to do per month to make that payment? I would say, well, that's just one more door per month to make that payment. And I had a lot of payments. I had a boat, had an excursion, several other things we won't get into. And a lot of it was just, wasted on credit cards. You don't even know what it went towards. I never missed a payment on that. Never once. It was hard at times. I don't know how I made it. But something I did not put into that equation was the risk. Now, I purchased a lemon. Anybody that knows anything about the 6-liter diesels, especially when they first came out before, bulletproofing was known, it was a lemon. It was a piece of junk. And over the course of the 6 years or 5 years, it took me to pay off 60 months at $1,000 a month payment. Over the course of that time, I spent tens of thousands of dollars repairing that thing, keeping it running. It only had a 100,000 mile warranty, and that went out about a year and a half in. I put a lot of miles on vehicles back then. I drove every day all over the state doing construction. And there's more to the story, more things happened, but eventually I got to the point to where my wife and I were sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we heard about Dave Ramsey, and we went through Financial Peace University, and it just clicked and made sense with us. I'm not saying it's for everybody. I'm not saying it's the only way to live, but I am a believer that the borrower is slave to the lender. And, it took us 7 years, but we were able to pay off everything but our house and That's how we are right now. The only debt we have is our house, and we're working towards paying that off. And I'm not going to go in debt again. You know, I could go out today and buy a brand new 2020 F-250 or whatever. They would loan me the money, and it's just, I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it to me. The other lifestyle that I'm trying to live, I'm going off on a tangent here, I'm sorry. The other lifestyle is the homesteading lifestyle. I'm trying to get myself to where I can be self-sufficient here on the property. And, you know, this is part of it, is not being able to always go out and buy brand new and nice things. It's being able to make the best of with what you have. Not being wasteful either. As I said, I'm going to jump all over the place. This is not something I'm great at, and my mind is going a million different directions. If you look around me, I'm standing underneath a lift right now. I've got, you know, tens of thousands of dollars in mechanics tools. There's no reason in me having all this stuff to not use it. Now, to some people, this vehicle probably looks like a piece of crap. And who knows, maybe it is. Maybe I've just convinced myself that it's not. So if you've watched this channel any length of time, you know that I'm a fixer. It's just what I do. I liken this Ford to this house and many other houses I've owned. I bought this house for dirt cheap for the area because it was creepy, it needed a lot of work, and I think people struggle to see, you know, beyond. I've always felt like I could see what the potential they have, whether it be a vehicle, a piece of property, anything. I can look at trash and, you know, see the treasure in there. Maybe it's a gift, maybe it's a curse, I'm not sure. I think sometimes maybe it is a curse. But I look at this truck and I can see past the torn up seats. I can get replacement seats. I'm actually going to go to a junkyard this week and look for some replacement seats. I can see past the dirt. Now, I do look for specific things. I didn't buy this sight unseen or anything like that. When I bought this vehicle, I met with the owner at his house, and I'm gauging everything in my head. I'm looking at their house, I'm looking at their other vehicles, looking at the property, or they were active farm there. This is dirty because it was used on an active farm. You go out in the field, drive out in the field, and you get in with muddy boots, you're going to get muddy. These bench seats are notorious for ripping. The manifold leak, I heard it right away, but these 5.4 Tritons are, it's an exception if you have one that doesn't have a cracked manifold. Now, I was only expecting the passenger, that's the one that typically happens, but it's just, it happens. You know, they're also known for having spark plugs to break off inside the block when you try to take them out. So they got a couple things they're known for. They're known for the rust around the fenders and the cab corners. Those are things that aren't lack of maintenance or lack of care. It's just what happens to a work truck. Now, you know, with a couple evenings work and about $500, I've already got this thing up and running. Once it's all said and done, spark plugs, all the maintenance, everything, I'll probably be around $700 in repairs and, you know, my time, but I'm making these videos. So my time isn't wasted, I would say. And like I said, I've got this shop, this place to do it. Just changing this fuel filter would be so much harder without a lift. But I can bring it in here, put it up, and take care of it. So it's not that big of a deal for me. But like I said, I didn't just buy this not knowing what I was getting into. And I know I can clean that interior. When I'm done with that interior, it will look decent. And I got this so cheap that by putting a little bit of elbow grease and time and effort into it, it'll be worth so much more. You know, if you're at all in the market for a truck like this, you know what these trucks go for. As I said, if this truck was cleaned up and had those manifolds changed, then all of a sudden it sells for $8,000 to $10,000. That's just what they go for around here. With seats and everything, I don't expect to be over $4,000. That's kind of what I had in my head. I want to be into this truck for $4,000. I could turn around, sell it, and double my money right away. Am I saying this is for everybody? No, it's not. This is a lifestyle I live, and you know, I have the tools, the shop, the area. Am I a mechanic? No, but can I do things like bolt on an exhaust manifold? Yeah, I can do that. You know, and it's knowing your limitations. You know, I would not have bought this if the transmission needed to be rebuilt. I can't rebuild a transmission, you know, or at least I've never tried. I don't know. I also realized a long time ago that owning a nice car doesn't make you wealthy. And I'm talking about wealthy in the monetary sense, physical money, cash, because I personally believe that I'm a wealthy man because I have a wonderful wife and 3 beautiful kids that are healthy, and I've got a roof over my head. I'm a very blessed person. But from a true monetary sense, owning a nice vehicle doesn't make you wealthy. It means you have a lot of payments. Unless you pay cash for that nice vehicle, you're not wealthy because you have that. And I'm not embarrassed by driving vehicles that aren't fancy or aren't nice. But also, I have a daily driver. This isn't, I do have a office job, and I go see customers, and this isn't the vehicle I'll be going to see them. I might every now and then, but I have my LX470. It's a 2006 model. It's 14 years old, and it's got over 200,000 miles on it. It has a tape deck in it, but it's nice. The interior is nice. It's a nice looking vehicle. Most people don't realize it's that old, and but even if I didn't have it, it wouldn't bother me to roll up in this. This fuel filter actually doesn't look that old. My bet is it's not that old, but like I said, I always do the maintenance if I don't have records. Every video I've ever watched of these little quick disconnects, they pop off so quick. I have replaced a lot of fuel filters in my life, and especially on Fords. I don't know if I just don't have the touch or what it is, but I always struggle with them. They never just come off like they do in the videos you see of how to change one. I had a message, it was something along the lines of, your poor wife, she must be embarrassed to be seen with you and things like that. And, I don't know if she is, and I hope she's not. But that being said, I didn't make this decision alone. We don't make decisions alone. We all have, if it's a $50 purchase, we don't consult one another, but I'm not going to go spend $2,700 without talking to my wife and putting it in the budget. We have a budget meeting, we put those together, and I'd made a $4,000 budget for a truck, and we went and saw this together. We did not buy it right away. We saw it on a Friday, did not go back and buy it till a Tuesday, I think. But my wife is a stay-at-home mom. She's able to homeschool our children. We have that luxury because we're not head over heels in debt, and she doesn't have to go to work. She did work before we had kids, and it was nice having 2 incomes. But, we had made a priority that we wanted to be able to spend as much time with our children as possible when they were young, and she's been able to do that. And it's something we couldn't do if we were driving around really nice cars and had all kinds of debt. Now, I say that, she has the newest car of any of us, and she keeps it very nice and clean, and it's, I think it's 2016. It's a Chrysler minivan, so it's nothing special. This is a decision we made together to live this debt-free lifestyle because we were both sick and tired of being sick and tired. All right, I'm gonna lower this thing down, put the fuse for the fuel pump back in it, and open up the garage door, and we'll start it up. And I'll hook my scan tool up to it and show you guys what I was looking at that made me think that this might be either a fuel issue or a vacuum leak. And hopefully there's somebody out there who knows more about 5.4 Tritons than I do that can be like, hey, you need to do this or check here. All right, so this is just a cheap Harbor Freight scan tool, and I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. So I've got it on OBD2. Now I've got it running right now. I'm going to go to live data. Then we're going to short-term fuel trim. And right now this is a little bit negative, 0. Now that was running earlier, both the short-term fuel trims 1 and 2. This is a V8, so it's got 2 banks. they were running up to 14 and 15. So I'm going to sit here and watch and let it warm up a little bit and see what happens. If it gets up to 14 or 15, then I still have an issue. If not, then my fuel filter was the issue. Now I just revved it up, and that makes sense that it's going to think it needs more gas there when I rev it up. Alright, so I've sat here and let it warm up a little bit, and I've still not seen the short-term fuel trim go over 10. It's actually stayed, right around 0, -2, something like that, whereas before I never saw it go negative. So hopefully that has actually fixed a little bit of the problem. Like I've said before, I think I said anyway, this truck's set for about 3 years, so it doesn't surprise me that that fuel filter is a little nasty. On my last fill up, I put some fuel treatment in the tank, and I've got some seafoam in there, so hopefully we're getting everything cleaned out there, and we'll be all right for a while to come. Well, if you like these kind of videos, click that thumbs up button. If you don't like these kind of videos, click the thumbs down button. Either way, leave me a comment telling me why. They really do help, and I enjoy reading your comments. If you're not already a subscriber, I would love to have you. Click that subscribe button, and if you'd like to get notified every time I put out a new video, click that bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.